say, call hello Yahweh Bashim Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That is to say all praises to the Most High God Yahweh, through his only God Son Yahweh Shai. This is Kari Philly coming at you with another edifying video through the Spirit, Lord willing. It's the brother Guy Sean.
Brother Yeramian.
And Brother Tazawar.
And today we're going to be going into Matthew 7 and verse 24 to 27, basically building yourself up under a rock, a strong foundation, basically, right? So let's get that. Matthew 7, start at verse 24. Get Psalms 18 and 2.
It's the book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24. Therefore, whosoever hearkeneth these words of mine and doeth them.
So this is red letters, right? This is Yahweh Shai speaking. Whosoever, so that's a cut to y'all people that's saying we don't have to do nothing in this truth, right? We don't have to do nothing. We're just cleansed by the blood of Yahweh Shai. But Yahweh Shai himself is telling us that whosoever hear these words and doeth them, right? He's about to liken unto something, right? What's he about to liken them unto?
I will liken him unto a wise man.
A wise man, right? And everybody wants to be wise, man. Everybody wants to have wisdom, or everybody wants to fake like they got wisdom, right? You know?
A wise man which built his house upon a rock.
Upon a rock. So he will liken you unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. So we're about to get what that rock is, right?
Right.
You know?
All right, this is the book of Psalms 18, verse 2.
God, bring it up.
The Lord is my rock,
The Lord is my rock, right? You know?
my fortress,
My fortress,
my deliverer,
my deliverer,
my power,
my power. So basically, all these adjectives is basically the Lord saying the Lord is my comfort. The Lord is my place of refuge, right?
right?
So a rock, what's a rock to do? It's something that you built your bases off, right? You built a foundation on top of. You need a solid rock. So the Lord is that solid rock upon which you're gonna build your foundation off of, right? Is there more on that?
And also a rock represents strength and dexterity.
Exactly, strength and dexterity. That's actually what I was looking into when I was doing a little bit of research for this, right? It says a rock is unmovable and stable, right? That's one of the definitions of it. So we know that the most unmovable force is the Most High God Yahweh, right? So that's what you need to build your foundation off of, something that's unmovable and that will never fail you, right?
In whom, my strength, in whom I will trust.
In whom I will trust. So that's who you place your hopes onto. That's who you place your trust into. Something that's unmovable and that will never fail. It's like betting on something, right?
Right.
If you're gonna bet on something, the Most High is 100% guarantee you will get like a good payout of it. So if you're gonna put your trust in something or someone, put it in the Most High God, right?
My buckler and my horn of salvation, my high tower.
My high tower. So we know a high tower is used in times of war, right? To see the enemy. So the Most High is gonna be that fortress for you.
Right.
To warn you of the enemy, to warn you of everything that's to come, right? You got it.
Yeah, I got precept on the rock. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4.
Psalms 118.
And did all drink of that same spiritual drink, for they drunk of that spiritual rock.
That spiritual rock. So we know that this isn't talking about a physical rock, so I don't want y'all to go outside, look at a rock and say, I'm gonna place my trust in you, right? You know?
And the spiritual rock that they drunk from too, just knowing that it's from the same people. When they're saying that we drunk from the spiritual rock, that's with them when they was in the
wilderness.
Moses.
Exactly, in the wilderness, right.
And they drank from that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach.
And that rock was Hamashiach, right? So whatever he came to tell you, whatever he did, if you're drinking from something, it means you're consuming it, right? So whatever he's telling you, you got to consume what he's telling you. He told you to keep the law, statutes, and commandment. And love your brother, right? And drink exactly that living water. So you have to trust in the Most High God and trust in Yahweh Shai. And how do you do that? Get that?
This is the book of 118 and Psalms 118. What verse is it?
8.
Verse 8. Come. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
Get 1 John 2 and 4. It is better to trust in the Most High than put confidence in man, right? Because man can lead you astray.
Right.
So if you trust somebody, right, that means you know them, right? I'm not going to put my trust in somebody I don't know, right?
Exactly.
I'm not going to do that because that's foolhardy, right? So if you know the Most High, what do you have to do, or what's a sign that you know the Most High? You know?
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 4. He that speaketh, I know, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments. Oh, Salaga, I read it wrong. Verse 4, he that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar.
Is a liar. So if you're saying you know the Most High and you keep not his commandments, you're a liar. Right. So we just got knowing the Most High and trusting the Most High. We just define those two. We just define what that rock is, right? Let's go back to verse 25, right?
The book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 20. Sorry, read 24 again.
Yeah.
Or verse 24. Therefore, whosoever hearkeneth these sayings of mine and doeth them,
not just hearkeneth and go about your day, right?
I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. Verse 25. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not.
Right. Get Psalms 127 and 1, right? And the rains came and the floods descended, right? And it broke and fell not, right? Because you built your house on a strong foundation, right? Right? And we just define what that foundation is. We just define what that rock is, right? Let's see why it didn't fall, right? Psalms 127 and 1.
The book of Psalms chapter 127 and verse 1. Except Yahweh built the house.
Because Yahweh is the foundation, right? Yahweh is that rock that you built your house upon, right? Except Yahweh is that foundation. What's going to happen?
They labor in vain.
You're laboring in vain. It's always going to fall if Yahweh isn't that foundation, isn't that rock, isn't that base, right? So that's why when the tribulations came, when the rains, the winds, all of those things beat on that house, it didn't fall. Because Yahweh was that foundation, right? Yahweh Shai, right? Let's go back to where we was at. Verse 25.
Verse 20, book of Matthew 7 and 25. And the rain descended.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 8 and 5.
And the rain descended.
8 and 5, yeah.
And the floods came. And the winds blew. And beat upon that house. And it fell not.
And it fell not. Because you had strong foundation. Your foundation wasn't wishy-washy. It wasn't lukewarm. It wasn't double-minded. The foundation is what's going to stand strong. And that's what you need, right? You need something that's going to stand through adversity, right?
Right.
You know?
For it was founded upon a rock.
It was founded upon a rock. It was founded upon a strong rock, something that's immovable, that's something that has dexterity, right? You know?
Verse 26. And everyone that hearkeneth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man.
Shall be likened unto a foolish man, somebody that is without wisdom, right? And we know wisdom is the law, statutes, and commandments, right? You know?
Which build.
Oh, so I could get that. Ecclesiastes 8 and 5. That was before Matthew 7 and 25.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 5. Whoso keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing.
Shall feel no evil thing, right?
And a wise man, a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
So whosoever keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing. And we just read that if your foundation is strong, right? If Yahweh is your foundation, right? Those things that come when the wind came, the rain came, the hurricanes came, right? Your house didn't fall, right? You're not going to feel any evil thing if Yahweh is your foundation. Those things are going to hit you. Temptations, tribulations, those things are going to hit you. But if your faith is in Yahweh Shai, and you're keeping the commandments, you're not going to feel any of those things that's going to hit you. You're going to go through them. It's going to make you stronger for sure, but you're not going to feel any of those things that's going to hit you, right? Let's go back to verse 26.
The book of Matthew chapter 7 and verse 26. And everyone that hearkeneth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand.
Which built his house upon the sand. Sand is what? Sand is not solid. Sand is what? It slips through your hand. It's not something that's stable. Sand gets blown away through the wind, right? If the wind hits sand, it's going to get blown away, right? That's not something you want to build your foundation on. Something that can easily be blown away, right? And that's all these doctrines, right? We see it all in these streets all the time. We cut away these doctrines, right? They have no leg to stand upon. They're not solid. That's not solid doctrine. That can be easily blown away. So if you built your house on those doctrines that can easily be blown away, that's foolish. That's what Yahweh is saying right here, right? You know.
Verse 27. And the rain descended, and floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell.
And it fell.
And and great was the fall of it.
And great was the fall of it, right? So, if your foundation is wishy-washy, it's false, it's not strong, all these tribulations that are going to come to test it, that's supposed to test it and make it stronger, they're instead going to destroy it, because we know that if you have a strong base, that's all these tribulations that's going to come, you're supposed to withstand them and become stronger, right? So in this truth, you're supposed to be learning, you're supposed to be growing, and affliction is supposed to be hitting you to make you stronger. Like, you're at this stage, all right, you got to go through this stage now, you got to go through this affliction now to get yourself built up. If you don't have any affliction, you're not going to get built up. But if your foundation isn't strong, when that affliction comes, instead of building you up, it's going to destroy you.
Right.
And great is going to be the fall of that destruction, right? Let's get 1 Samuel 29. I could study that.
Come.
Can you hold wisdom of Solomon 6 and 17?
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, and verse 9. It says, "He will keep the feet of his saints."
That's the saints are those that have that strong foundation.
Right.
The saints are those that built their house on the rock, that solid foundation that withstood all the tribulations that came upon it. Right? You know?
Come. And the wicked shall be silent in darkness.
In darkness, without wisdom or light. Right? You know?
For by strength shall no man prevail.
You're not gonna. You chose those doctrines by your strength. They're man-made doctrines, right? So by strength shall no man prevail. You're not gonna prevail by your own strength.
Right.
Only by building your doctrine on Yahweh Shai, something that's not man-made, right? Will your doctrine prevail against all those tribulations that came up? And it's not even your doctrine, right? It's the truth, right? You got a precept?
Oh no! I just said when the wisdom of Solomon.
No kind. Or if y'all got anything to add to that, y'all free to do so.
Yeah, and also there's these brothers might not make it in these last days because they trust in man a lot. You know what I'm saying? They don't wanna put their whole trust system in the Most High.
What's that precept? It says in the last days men shall be lovers of themselves, right?
Right.
That's what they're gonna do in the last days. They're not gonna put their trust in the strong foundation that's gonna be guaranteed to build them up. They're gonna believe in themselves, thinking, "Oh, I know best, so I can do this myself." And that's what's gonna be their own destruction, right?
And I got a precept to that too. Jeremiah. Oh,
Can you bring it?
yeah.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
Perilous times will come. Those are the rains and tribulations that fell in the house. Perilous times, right? You know.
Verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Men shall esteem themselves, thinking that they know best in those days. And we see that going on now. We see men trusting in themselves, and we see their fall. Pop Smoke, he trusted in himself. What's his end, right? Great was the fall of that man, right? You know?
Coveters,
right?
boasters,
Boasters, bragging.
Right.
Look what I got. Oh, I got this. I got so much money. I got all this freedom, right? Look what their end is. Your end is the same as just a regular man. Your money don't make you no different, right? You know?
Proud, blasphemers,
Blasphemer. Talking the grandest ish about the Most High, right? Like he's not gonna do nothing about it. Well, yeah, it's dead now, so he did something about it.
Right.
You know?
disobedient to parents.
Disobedient to parents, right? You know, we already see that playing out now. We don't even gotta break that down. That's clear and evident.
No cap, bro.
You know,
Unthankful.
unthankful.
Right.
No matter what's going on, like people die every day, and what you have, you're alive today. You're still unthankful for, right? You know.
Unholy. Verse 3. Without natural affection.
Without natural affection, you don't love your brother. You will shoot him down for the slightest thing, the wrong look. Oh, he didn't pay me back the last dollar that he owed me, so I'm gonna go kill him. Without natural affection, and you love him. What's that? You know, what's the context of that?
Well, it's just talking about the mindset of people in the last days.
We're gonna get that for a second.
Oh, yeah, kind of. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, curse Cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. You're going to be cursed if you believe another man is going to deliver you instead of Yahweh Shai. What Yahweh Shai is going to deliver you in these last days. Right. That's not the case, right? You know.
And maketh flesh his arm.
Making flesh his armor.
And whose heart departeth from the Lord.
Whose heart departed from the Lord. Right. So if you're not meditating on these laws, statutes, commandments, how to please the Most High, you're departed. And cursed are you if you trust another man, right?
Right. For he shall be like a heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh.
And shall not see when good cometh. You won't understand when good is happening to you, right?
Right.
You know?
But shall inhabit the patched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabited.
Yeah, so your end is going to be gruesome if you departed from the Most High. We're just going to finish out with that. We're going to Solomon 6 and 17.
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 17.
So we got to understand how you built your rock on a foundation. It doesn't just happen miraculously, right? But there's a beginning to it, how you can take the first step to doing that, right? You know?
Verse 17. For verily, true beginning of her love, of her, is the desire of discipline.
So you have to desire discipline. That's the very first step to building your house on that rock. You have to desire discipline. Because we don't just wake up and we're keeping the law, statutes, commandments. It's a discipline thing. Right. We wake up every day, we read, and then we practice what we read. Love your brother, it ain't just something that happened instantaneously.
Right.
You have to be able to forgive your brother, and that takes practice. You have to be able to love your brother, that takes practice. So the very beginning of wisdom, right, which is what your foundation should be built on, is discipline, right? You know.
And the care of discipline is love.
And the care of discipline is love. So you have to love the Most High for you to even be doing this, right? For you to even be have the first qualifications to do something that's true. You have to love the Most High above all, right? Is there more in that?
No, that was it.
Oh, that was it?
18. And love is the keeping of her laws.
And the keeping of her laws. So that's what you have to do, plain and simple, right? If you love the Most High, you keep His laws, and you have to desire discipline. Because practicing the laws is what makes perfection, right? Like they say, practice makes perfect. You have to practice these laws to become perfect, which is what we're called to be, right? Like our Father which is in heaven. With that, I hope brothers been edified, and shalom.